Welcome, people of planet Earth and all planets beyond. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Josh, and this is Heat Check. This is our weekly look at the top 10 highest selling vintage Levi's on eBay this week. So let's take a look. So this week's Heat Check's a little bit less heat, I guess you could say. Less hot, I don't know. We had previously been seeing tons of weeks of just like crazy numbers, big sales, and this week was a little bit more average, mediocre in the middle, but there are some really interesting items that were sold that we've not had on the list before, so I think it's going to be pretty interesting nonetheless. If you don't know how this works, I do as much research as I can to verify that these sales actually did go through and they did happen. If I find anything suspicious, I'll let you know. But some pretty cool stuff on this list, so let's go ahead and dig right in. Alright, getting us started with an honorable mention. This one would have actually taken the cake today if this was actually, in fact, a vintage Levi's Type 1 denim jacket, but it is in fact not a vintage Type 1. You can see that this looks very much like a Type 1 Levi's denim jacket with the belt buckle or the buckle back. The denim looks super cool. The pleats, the one pocket. But in fact, this is not one of those at all. Look, it even has the button, right, the rivet on the cuffs there. Inside we have selvage denim. Very much looks like a Levi's denim jacket. But if you look a little closer on the button here, you can see Foremost by JCP Co., which is JCPenney Company. This is a JCPenney's essentially sort of a hybrid, you know, between the two and the 1 and the 2 type 1 and type 2 Levi's denim jacket. It is old, 40s. It's definitely a beautiful piece and definitely worth paying for. This one looks incredible. But it's interesting how these companies like JCPenney's and Sears would copy some of the big boys and some of the more well-known brands and just produce something just slightly different. But still today, this guy sold for $1,700 with 3 bids. Beautiful jacket, just not Levi's. All right, starting us off at number 10, we have this Big E 2-pocket denim trucker jacket. This is the Type 3. You can see it has those sharp V's. No pockets here, or just those 2 pockets. Big E, let's see right here. You got the Big E. My guess is this is, 67s to 71, something like that. Just from the looks of some of these details. Beautiful jacket. These are starting to pick up in terms of the value and price. People really do want to grab some of these. This one sold for $464 with 65 bids. Lots and lots of bids for this one. Beautiful jacket. Next up, we have a pair of dead stock 501s, shrink to fit. This is a great find. Beautiful pair right here. Look at that deep color, and I mean, absolutely incredible. This pair is from, I believe, like 1981. So it's an 80s pair, but it is dead stock, which is hard to come by. There's a 3 digits there. It's got the single felled inseams that we would expect. I mean, beautiful craftsmanship, awesome design. Shrink to fit. We've talked about this repeatedly. That shrink to fit is, especially the vintage shrink to fits, are just going to be harder and harder and harder to find. So this is definitely a good buy. For $549.99 here at number 9. Now at number 8, we have a pair of, looks like maybe mid to early 60s, a pair of 501s. These are a beautiful pair right here. Obviously distressed, obviously lots of, dirt and paint and all kinds of stuff. But it's a really cool pair. Look how they patched up the inside. They have some holes in it and they patched it up with these vintage patches. That's really interesting. Obviously you see some holes here, but it looks like it might have been patched. Beautiful pair. This is a really old pair. Let's see. We do have the hidden rivets. You can see that. So this puts it earlier in the 60s, mid to early 60s. While you can't see the V-stitch, let's see where it is. Where is it? Yeah. So it doesn't appear to be a V-stitch, but you can see right here there's a little bit of a V. The V-stitch probably just came undone over time. So this is a beautiful pair of 60s 501s that sold for $613 with 20 bids. Prices on distressed 501s can be all over the place because what looks bad to one person may not look so bad to another. So the values can be all over the place. But this seems like a pretty good deal for $600 for this pair of jeans. All right, next up we have this Levi's 506XX jacket. It's really a vest. Obviously the arms have been removed. But this is type 1, a beautiful jacket. It's got the buckle back, and the buckle back looks like it's in pretty good condition, all things considered. You can see all the rivets here. It's a really cool garment. Obviously, if it did have its sleeves, it'd be going for quite a bit more, and if it wasn't so beat up and distressed, it'd go up for more. But still went for a good price of $690 plus shipping. Super cool vest. Would have been awesome to have the arms, but you can take what you can get for this price. All right, next up we have this pair of 501s from, it says the 70s, but I actually think this is probably more likely from the early 80s. Most likely early 80s. It is selvage denim, so it's beautiful. It looks like it's been maybe washed once. It has shrunk. It was a 36, 36 originally, and now it measures at 34, 32. But if you consider, think about it, it's not too bad. We just had a dead stock pair that wasn't obviously selvage on this list for $550. This sold for $700. Still in beautiful condition with the extra tag on there. Somebody got a good deal. You can see the chain stitching on there, so clearly showing us that it's at least younger than 1978 or so. It does have a tag. My guess is based on the triple digit factory code that we're looking at an early 80s pair rather than a 70s pair, but still a beautiful pair. Sold for $700 plus shipping. All right, next up we have this really interesting rare pair of jeans, and you can see that they are in fact gigantic. They are 76 by 46. These were just store displays. You can actually see, let's get us a good picture. I know it'd be hard to get this entire pair of jeans on one photo, but here it is, probably on like a giant king size bed. Huge and gigantic. These were obviously for display only. They weren't for actual wearing, but it would be funny to see someone wear some. These were used as promotion, hung in this person's Levi's store. I think this is probably based, look at this. Look at how many buttons are in that button fly. That's crazy. It looks like, based on the construction, this is probably from like 71. I think this might be the date code. 1171 is my guess. This is a little bit of a different way, or different stamp that I would have expected from this era. But again, these were not manufactured the same way as the other ones were. So these store displays are really cool. They do come up for sale every once in a while. They're definitely one of the cooler collector's pieces that you can find out there. I've seen them from many decades, or many different decades. And these are some of the coolest and best conditions that I've seen so far. This pair sold for $770 plus shipping with 11 bids. So not too much competition, but somebody was out there that wanted it. Now at number 4 we have this vintage Levi's Type 2. This is the first Type 2 I think officially on the list. From the 50s, obviously. This is a very small jacket, it appears to me. This might be a youth or kid's size. It's hard to tell. You can see there you have the yellow selvage denim. That's pretty cool. Pretty unusual to see that. Or not necessarily unusual for these jackets, but just unusual in terms of selvage. Beautiful condition all around. I don't think it has the interior. It doesn't have the label on the inside. The armpit to armpit is 17 inches. Length is 22. This is definitely probably a youth size of some sort, but still, it's a beautiful jacket. That explains why it went for so little. It went for $777 with 22 bids plus some shipping. Super cool jacket. Then at number 3 we have this 501. Beautiful deep blue here. Clearly hasn't been washed. You have the S for, I think that was satisfactory, I believe is sort of the meaning of the acronym of that. 34 by 29. That's probably, we have a 31 by 25.5, which is pretty short. All things considered, it doesn't look like it was hemmed to me, so it probably just shrunk to that. We do have the big E. I don't know what that device is. We have a 2. No, it does not appear we have any V stitching, so this is probably a late 60s, early 70s, something like that, because it is a big E. And we have the button flies, and you can see there's some of that orange thread being used here, so I would definitely expect this to be late 60s, early 70s, maybe even more on the 70s side. I don't see anything else, but it's a beautiful pair of selvage denim jeans. High quality pair here. Short. I'm a little surprised it went for the price it did with how short it was, but still a beautiful pair of jeans. Went for $893.46 plus shipping. All right, at number 2, the vintage Levi's Type 2 strikes again. Here we go with our second Type 2 on the list, the 507XX. This also appears to be a fairly small version of it. It looks like it's in pretty good condition. It's certainly not got as much color, but largely speaking, it's in good shape. The tab is a bit messed up, which is a bummer. There are some tears. Largely in good condition, obviously. Let's see inside the selvage. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. No label on the inside. Let's see what the... Oh, there they show the measurements. Oh, so this is another... This is interesting. This is about the same exact size as the last... that other Type 2, but this one is not nearly as in good of condition. So this does surprise me to some degree to see this price. And speaking of the price was $1,000. So someone paid $1,000 for this jacket, even though it's in worse condition and the same size as the one that went for $770. Still a great buy. Anytime you can get your hands on a Type 2, it's going to be a good day. So no shame in that. But beautiful pair, beautiful jacket. Did go for $1,000 with free shipping. Now, before we get to number 1, I do want to mention that we just opened up membership. So if you want to support the channel, just $2.99 a month. Go check out the join button down below and support your boys, support the channel if you're into what we do and what we're all about. We really appreciate it. There are some perks like a members only live stream of a haul. Basically, I show off everything I buy in the week on one day, one live stream all at once, and you guys can hang out there for just the small payment of $2.99 a month. Either way, if you do, if you don't, we appreciate you nonetheless. So let's get to number 1. Now at number 1, we have a 60s pair of 501s. They say it's 1965. That would be my guess too, something around there. We do have the V-stitch. Lots of color left in this these jeans. 3230 is a pretty good competitive size. You can see on the inside here, a lot of good. Let's see, does it show? Yeah, we don't have any hidden rivets, so we're definitely on the late 60s side, is my guess here. With the V-stitch, no hidden rivets, and it looks like we do have a combination of yellow and orange, or more orange thread. I don't know what they're showing off here, if there's a stamp on it or something, but it's really faded out at this point. We do have that, let's see, I can't tell. Yeah, we do have that like single top stitch. So yeah, beautiful pair of jeans right here. Late 60s pair with lots of color left in them. A little bit of wear, but almost just in the best ways for sure. So great pair of 501s that top this list. They sold for $1,136 plus shipping with 9 bids. Beautiful pair of 501s to finish off this list. So clearly number 1 was a beautiful pair of jeans, but my favorite was that display pair, the store display. That's just such a cool piece, especially if you're a collector and you just want stuff that's unusual, hard to find, and rare. Definitely one of those cool things. It probably would be too big to fit on my wall, unfortunately, but one day, you never know, maybe we'll get a bigger place, maybe we'll do, whatever, who knows. Hopefully I can come up with one someday. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.